bottom of Bribey Island, over.
Peggy, can you just confirm your registration is Foxtrot Bravo 014 Quebec, over?
Yeah, that's a roger to that, Mooloolaba, and we've got 2 POV. Our ETA down there is probably around about 1,000 hours, over. Coming in, pilot boat going out.
Peggy-Anne, and you're heading to Bribey Island, was that correct?
Yeah, roger, probably Bongaree.
Peggy-Anne, can you just confirm your mobile on board is 025, over?
Yeah, that's a roger.
Peggy-Anne, just because you're just going around the corner from Skirmish Point, would you like to stay on our sea watch until you're in anchor, over?
Yeah, roger, that'd be great. Stay with you until we get down there, over.
Brilliant, thanks, Peggy-Anne. You have a safe trip south and we'll hear from you when you're in anchor. Coast Guard Mooloolaba out.
Thanks, Mooloolaba. We'll stand by 73.
Well, we don't wear skimpy bikinis. Hell, it frightens me when I take my shirt off. There's definitely no one pregnant here. This is motor sailing for old dudes. We do live on a boat, and we do cruise extensively along the Australian coast. Join us and visit some great destinations. Learn how to look after a boat and live off grid. It might even get you enthused to do the same thing. Hey, stay out there till you can't.
Well, another early start from Mooloolaba this morning. The bar was quite flat when we came out. We're about halfway through the tide, so there's a fair bit more water there. It is pretty shallow at low tide. You want to watch it a bit in Mooloolaba. But we're making our way to the bottom of Bribey now. We're going to go round into Pumicestone Passage and anchor up at Bongaree, and we'll stay there tonight and then slip across to Scarborough Marina tomorrow. They've organised a berth for us over there, so that's good. But a little bit of breeze coming up, so time to get the headsail out and give us a bit of an assist, I think. Pleasant out here again today though. Did blow a bit yesterday afternoon. I reckon it was up around 25 knots, so glad we're out of that. We're just passing Caloundra, and I've altered course to skip across the shipping channel. There's a big ship out at sea, I think on the way in, so we're just going to try and skip across the channel before he gets here, and then we'll have to alter course again and head down the inside of the Spitfire banks around the bottom of Bribey. And that'll mean jibing the sail again. But anyway, just got to do that to keep the wind from the right direction. Getting along nicely at the moment though. We had a great night here at Bongaree last night, and it's a good little spot. Easy access to the IGA and the shops uptown. There's a pontoon you can tie your dinghy up to. There's even water available there, but it's great in anything from the north or calm weather, but the forecast is for the wind to come up from the south and blow pretty strongly after lunchtime today. So we're just making ready to up the anchor, and we're going to head across to Scarborough and tie up in the marina over there while this blow goes through. It's going to be pretty severe weather, like up around 35-40 knots they reckon, so we'll get out of that, and a lot of rain too, so we'll be on the marina and it makes it a bit easier for us. Anyway, back in Moreton Bay, woohoo! Good to be back. Let's get out of here. We met Dutchie this morning too. He's putting a motor in his little compass. I think the rain might beat him today as well. Good luck with it, Dutchie. So this is windy weather. That's the situation at the moment, but you can see it's going to change pretty drastically this afternoon, and going into tomorrow they're going to cop a lot more up at Bundy. It develops a bit more up there, but by the end of Friday there's quite a bit of wind here, so that's what we're trying to get out of.
reverse down on there. Well, it's good to be tied up in Scarborough Marina for this bit of a blow that's coming. Supposed to get here after lunch, but it's a great marina here. The facilities are A-class and really good. And we've got a good berth right near the walkway, so not too far to walk. You can take Ted up nice and easy. So yeah, it'll be good to be tied up here and just sheltering out of this weather for sure. Once this weather goes through, I'll make my way a bit further down to the Gold Coast to my own berth down at Hope Island. Anyway, we just got to grin and bear what's coming, I guess. I'll film it when it comes through. It has been downgraded a little bit, so I don't think it's as bad as what it looked 3 or 4 days ago, so we mightn't get all of it, but yeah, it's going to be a nice place to be here for a week. I forgot to take the bungs out of the dinghy. Ugh. Well, it's a great marina here at Scarborough, but I think we've been here a bit too long. The forecast was some really strong wind. That didn't really happen, but we have had quite a bit of 30 knots plus, so we've decided to stay in the marina. We've been here about 4 days. Looking at maybe getting going tomorrow, and we'll head down into the Broadwater and then down to Jacob's Well and then home. So yeah, good spot to be stuck. It's a bit cold and miserable for a lad from Townsville. Bit of trouble dealing with this colder weather. And wet too, a bit like Melbourne. Yuck.
Well, we left Scarborough this morning at about probably 03:30 when we left. And we left that early because the wind's going to get up this afternoon. So by leaving early in the morning, we've only got probably 10 or 15 knots here at the moment. And we've just come past the Brisbane River. We had to give way to a couple of big ships coming out of the port. But now we're just heading under Mud Island, and between Mud Island and St Helena, and then we'll plot a course for down to Mooloolaba and the Broadwater. So we're planning to make for Jacobs Well today. We'll catch up with Bruce and Kay when we get down there, and anchor up off their place probably a bit after lunch, I'd reckon. Bit of a grey day, a lot of rain around. Not raining here at the moment, but there's a bit around, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little bit wet somewhere down the track. And a bit cooler too. Got the flanny back on, first time in a while. Oh, I've got to expect it, I suppose. Ended up with more wind than what was forecast this morning. I'm glad we made that early start and got across this side of Moreton Bay before it really got up. But it's blowing up around 20-25 now, and the landmass you can see in front of us is where we're headed. That's Macleay Island, and we're going to get in close to Macleay and follow it down, and that'll keep us out of the wind a bit. So once we get across this last little stretch, it should be a bit more comfortable. Not only uncomfortable, but you lose speed every time you jump off one of these waves and fall into a trough. It slows you down that little bit. So where we should be doing 5 or 6 knots, if we were going with it, we're doing about 4.6. So it does take a lot, bleeds a lot of speed off you. To get from Moreton Bay to the Gold Coast, we have to travel up through what's called the Broadwater. It's a waterway that separates the mainland from North and South Stradbroke Islands. And today I'm pretty glad that we're travelling up through the Broadwater, because the wind wasn't as forecast, and we've got about 30 knots blowing, and even in 30 knots the Broadwater is pretty doable. Of course, in this sort of wind I wouldn't like to be going up the outside of North and South Straddy, because into it would be atrocious. So quite doable here, and we'll get down to the Gold Coast, and that's where I berthed the boat. So it's been pleasant, if not slow. Brisbane.
Oh, he's got a big wave.
That's watching on YouTube. I'm just about to show you why most boats hate Rivieras. Well, that was unbelievable. He actually slowed down, so good on you, mate. Thanks very much. That's not why most people hate Rivieras. Usually they go past at full noise and
rock you out of your bunk. Anyway, whoever that guy was, thanks for slowing down and going past. Great. Another sunken houseboat.
Really?
Yep.
Where? In the reeds again?
No, just on a mooring.
Oh, look at that. What a mess.
On this trip we've seen 3 boats that have either been sunk or in the mangroves on their side. It's a huge problem here in the Broadwater, and I don't know what authorities are going to do to get over this problem, because the amount of neglected boats around, really, there's going to be this problem happening all the time. I know the authorities spent millions a year or so ago and removed a lot of derelict boats, but it's just going to be an ongoing problem, and I don't know what they do to solve it. A beautiful night at Jacob's Well. The wind dropped right out. It was dead still all night, and we slept like lambs. Very nice. Bit to do today. I've got to take Wombi back to Brisbane to pick up a car.